Call to order City of Port Richey Community Redevelopment Agency budget hearing Thursday, September 7th, 2023. I'd like to stand and say the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, you take a roll, please.
Chairman John Eric Hoover.
Here.
Member Todd McClary.
Here.
Member Tom Kinsella.
Here.
Member Linda Rodriguez. Let the record show that Member Linda Rodriguez is absent from tonight's meeting. Member Bill Colombo.
Here.
City Attorney Nancy Meyer. Here. Interim City Manager Sal Carey.
Here. Thank you. Open up to the comments from the general public. Would like to speak? So going to have to move on. Moving on to comments from the city manager. Turn over to Mr. LaCarey.
No, none at this time.
Thank you. Open up for the board. Any comments from the board? No. As well, not none. So we'll move on to agenda. Item number 1, resolution number 23-10, Community Redevelopment Agency CRA fiscal year 23-24 budget. I'll turn it over to Mr. LaCarey for introduction.
Thank you, Chairman. For the Community Redevelopment Agency CRA Board is a presentation of resolution number 23-10 for the 2023-2024 CRA budget to be approved at the second budget hearing on September 21st, 2023. I turn it over for the city attorney to go ahead and read the resolution.
Before I butt in.
Resolution number 2310, a resolution by the CRA Board of the City of Port Richey, Florida, setting the Community Redevelopment Agency CRA budget for the fiscal year commencing October 1st, 2023 through September 30th, 2024.
Everyone's scared to say anything.
I'm done.
For a motion or discussion.
Motion to approve resolution number 23-10 for the Community Redevelopment Agency CRA FY 23-24 budget.
Second.
Have a motion and a second for discussion. Anyone from the public like to speak? Dave Miller, welcome.
Dave Mueller, 5439 Blue Point Drive. I believe they're showing about $3 million coming out of the reserves, and I'm assuming that is relative to the construction project that's going to be ongoing down there in the waterfront district. I know that the water mains were being addressed as well before this project can start. This was supposed to start back in January, and it ain't going to start till the end of the year. So we lost a year on that. And I know at one point in time when we bid that, they were bidding the whole project out. Is there a possibility to include the improvements at Nick's Park and the boat ramp and everything with that as well, and get that on the same track so that we can get that parallel processing at the same time and try to get some benefit from, doing a bigger project? The point is this stuff will get done, and we can maybe even take a look at opportunity to manage that more efficiently as well. So something to think about, and that's maybe another solution to try to get the boat ramp and Nick's Park addressed. Thank you.
Thank you. I concur with that. I'd like to see us make some effort to get that to a point where at least it's not a liability. Is if there's amount of money we could throw in there, I don't think it'd take a whole lot. We at least do the pave the ramp, get the whole stuff out of it. And absolutely, that's opportunity. If we do get that a little bit nicer, we could look at charging and bring some money in.
Again, a budget's a budget. So, I mean, we can move budget line items around as necessary. Obviously, if projects don't get done, time, whatever.
Right, we don't plan for it. Probably won't happen.
Yeah, but the other thing I might add too, which I'm sure Sal is familiar with, you all are. We went through a very comprehensive audit with the Auditor General on our CRA, and we redefined everything that we can spend CRA funds on. So I would be very, very reluctant to, just jump right out and say, let's do this with CRA money. We need to make sure that that's within the framework of what we have. So that being said,
If I recall, the current project is for phase 1. I'd have to take another look, but I believe Nick's Park was either going to be included in phase 2 or phase 3 of the Cody River Landing.
I don't think the boat ramp though was. So
I I have to look and see what part of that was gonna be included.
Yeah, there was some rehab of the
There-
park
Rehab
itself.
of the park itself, but I don't know if that actually.
But
included the ramp.
I mean, we have plans for the boat ramp repair already on file. So, you know, probably have to dust them off and look at them. Is it feasible to include that as part of a bid? I don't know. You'd have to kind of go through the bid criteria for that. But we do have plans and designs to fix it. We do have it included in phase 2 or phase 3 to do the stuff outside of the boat ramp, i.e. the rest of the hardscape area. And like you said, a budget's a budget and, you know, we can readdress it. But in terms of setting the money aside, I think we should say yay today and look at some of the other opportunities. Because you could trade off, I mean, if the boat ramp's in phase 2, you could trade off phase 3 for the boat ramp in phase 2 and get it from that perspective.
And always looking for grant money on that boat.
And there's always grant money.
Which we were denied, I think you said, right, on the boat ramp grant.
Yeah, the last one that was.
Oh, the boat ramp grant, but theoretically, we still have the
Sure.
request for the Restore Act money.
Right.
See if we ever get that. But that includes sidewalks, and that's 800,000. And if everyone wants the boat ramp, start contacting Pasco County because we have the Restore Act funds in there, which that 800,000 will offset 800,000 of costs we're doing for Cody River Landing, which WOW is now a boat ramp.
Are you talking about the 667,000?
666, yeah.
Is that still on the books? My understanding has been
We've
pulled.
already spent the money, we're waiting for reimbursement, is what I've known.
No.
Yeah, not
No, we put in a request for the funds. We spent we already spent the amount that we have to spend.
Right, for the match.
The 666 were then going to pay for the, at that point it was dredging, but basically Pasco sat on it for lack of a better term. So the dredging bid went away. So then
well,
we
the dredging bid went away, as I recall. Essentially, we didn't get any bids that would do it for the money that we had available, so it would have cost more money.
We actually applied for dredging of 2 canals.
Yeah,
Based off of that.
Shrimpers Channel.
Yeah, based off of the 666.
Yeah.
So the money lined up, but then it just kind of sat there, and then the bids essentially expired.
So my understanding of that was the plan was changed. It didn't align with Pasco's multi-year plan, so the Treasury was not on board with releasing that. Even though Pasco, I guess, agreed to that revised plan. And so now you guys, before I got here, you revised the plan a third time to put it towards Cody River Landing. And my understanding is that's not going to fly. So I don't know if it's been decided or not, but
If someone would tell us it's not going to fly, that'd be a nice thing.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we're what's called the sub-recipient. The county is the recipient of the grant. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, just my basic opinion, they have no plans of ever letting us.
I would not be counting on that money.
Exactly.
Our grant coordinator was working on the revision of that, so I'll follow up with her and get an update for council. Probably, hopefully, by the next CRA meeting, which I believe is on the 12th. So if I get an update on that.
But they originally approved it, and then they didn't release it, not approve it, is where that's at.
Well, and don't forget, the reason it's sitting in our CRA fund is it's a refundable grant. So
Correct.
we have to actually
Spend it to get the
completely
money back.
do it, get signed off on it, and then hope like heck they pay us back for it.
Correct.
Did you have a comment, Tim? Go ahead.
Devin Aaron, 5414 Bay Boulevard. That Nick's Park, and I apologize for being so passionate about it. It's just, these things have been kicked down the road so long, and it's such an important asset to the city. And I really want to make a point to everybody that this really does need to get done. One, because it's an asset that we already have. If we wanted to purchase such a thing, like Pasco County is doing across the river, it would cost us millions of dollars. This guy, Nick, he'd be rolling over in his grave if he saw what we were doing right now, where we're squabbling this thing. It's a great asset. It's in a great location. We just need to come up with, I don't know, maybe 400, 500, or 600,000 to rebuild the whole thing, the dock and the ramp. The rest of it can be done at a later date, but we at least need to get that done. And then we need to install some kind of a pay meter or something like that. By the way, there's a lot of ways to do it. There's a lot of ways to do that as far as getting revenue in from that. You can have a person there, you can have it be a honor system. There's a bazillion ways to do that. We can figure that out. That's easy. And by the way, this stuff has been done a million times. You can just look at other municipalities and things like that and how they do it, and we can mimic that. So we're not like breaking new ground. We might need to buy like a machine or something like that to collect funds. But we could probably produce, a couple $100,000 a year if we charge $10 a head. We don't charge, obviously, citizens of the city. But you got to remember, even from Pasco County, these people are coming from the middle of the state to come over here because we got like really nice water over here. There's nice fishing, and I know, Todd, you said they're going to build super boat ramp over across the river, and I get that.
Maybe.
And I'm sure they'll build something really nice and all that. But it lets me know sort of where everybody's head is with this thing, where you don't really understand, like what's a good location and what's a bad location. We have the prime location. It's already here. We already have it in place. People recognize it. They use it, all the time. But in the river on such a thing where the tides are pulling in and out, where you have a, strong current, you don't want to be launching your boat. If you go to like, Anclote, first off, Anclote, which is, down, south or whatever, and then you got Hernando Beach, and we're right in the middle. We're the only boat ramp between the two. There's such a demand for this. It's like ridiculous, the demand. And Anclote expanded its parking lot. They have this gigantic parking lot now, and if you go there on the weekend, it is stuffed to the max. I won't go there either because it's actually almost dangerous because people are like fighting each other. There's a strong current whipping through there. It's not a good thing. So if we just fix what we got, we can generate a couple $100,000, and I think we would be able to produce and get a return on investment within 2, 3, 4 years. So like there's really something to be had here. What do you think, Bill?
Well, first of all, the gentleman who the park is named after, his last name was Nix. So it's not some guy like Nick Jones Park. You keep saying Nick Park.
I'm sorry.
No, okay. I'm just mentioning. Secondly, there actually is a boat ramp in Hudson. You keep missing that point.
Hudson Beach, right?
Yeah, Hudson Beach. Yeah. I'm just saying. There's
way down the river.
all I'm saying is you keep saying there's a boat ramp in Hernando and there's a boat ramp down here, and there is one in Hudson. I'm not saying it's a big deal. I'm just making a point. But the third is, and I know addressing you directly right now, but it's just you brought this up several times, and our city has been working on trying to do that boat ramp for a long time. And been trying to do it with, so we haven't been, and I'm saying, not only when I was on council, but when I was off council, every aspect of what you're talking about with that boat ramp was a prime consideration of the former mayor and the former vice mayor and one of the members of council. They spent a lot of time on all those ideas of charging for the park and all this, that, and the other thing. And they could never get anywhere with it because there were just too many ways that every time you came up with an idea, it just didn't work. But my point, I'm not looking to dig into that now because all this is a budget hearing, but I'm just telling you, we as a city have not been kicking that boat ramp down. We have been working on that. We've been trying to get grant money for that. We've been doing it for, like I said, back when I was first on council, and then I wasn't on council for a long time. It's something the city has not been kicking down the road. So just, since I didn't get a chance to talk to you at the meeting, which I did watch, by the way. So,
Yes, sir.
Anyway, back to you.
Anyone else? All right, I'll put the vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And looking for a motion.
Motion adjourned.
All in favor, signify